How's it going, guys? I'm Thomas King here with an empty bottle of Silver Cone tequila. Not that I'm encouraging anyone to drink, but if you already do and you like tequila, then you should look out for Silver Cone. It's great stuff. Our tagline is dangerously smooth for a reason. It truly is dangerously smooth and a lot easier to drink than pretty much any other tequila out there. Once again, I apologize for the quality of this video. I'm using photo booth again because don't really have a nice camera to use, so please bear with me. The purpose of this presentation is to share my internship experience with you, to talk about concepts I've learned about my communications courses that apply to the work I've done, and to tell you just overall what I got out of this experience. I'll start off by telling you about the company I interned for, then go into what my main duties were as a marketing and sales representative, my experience during my time as an intern, and then I'll talk about how some of the concepts from my communications classes I've taken apply to my experience, as well as what I got out of this internship overall. After applying to several internships through HireHog, this is the one that looked the most fun and really the only one that actually accepted me, so I joined them. I've been interning as a sales and marketing representative with Silvercoin since the end of January. I'd never actually had any real internships or marketing or sales experience before this, so I thought this would be a good opportunity for me to learn more about marketing and see how I do as a salesman. Silvercoin is a fairly new tequila company in Iowa. We've been in Iowa for about 11 months, starting in Des Moines and then expanding to Iowa City. We are premium silver grade tequila made from 100% blue agave plant found in the highlands of Jalisco, Mexico. And we're the only tequila in the world actually that's distilled twice to proof, which means that it's purified twice and contains much of the agave's original aromatic flavors, and it also makes it a lot smoother. Since we're a fairly new and unknown company, I needed to make sure that I spread the word about Silvercoin by doing things such as getting people to sign up for chances to win bottles, doing sampling events at liquor stores, restaurants, bars, and venues, telling people about it in general, using social media to get the word out, taking photos with celebrities holding a bottle if I happened to come up on that opportunity, which I actually didn't, unfortunately, and also just really any way that I can make people remember the Silvercoin brand. The majority of the marketing I did revolved around doing sampling events, which basically consisted of me going to liquor stores and other places that hold Silvercoin. After I spoke to managers and convinced them to put in an order, which I will get into in a bit. I would bring a bottle that my supervisor supplied me with and hand out samples, socialize with customers while speaking about Silvercoin and what distinguishes it from other tequilas, with the goal of them going home with a bottle. Different locations require me to approach people differently. For example, sampling at Liquor Downtown, which has pretty much a 100% college student and younger clientele base, versus the Hy-Vee, where the age demographics are mixed. For most of the college students, I could speak informally and merely order them to come take a shot, as I would usually say, since I knew that they probably would. While I spoke to other older customers, I would typically speak to them more formally and ask them if they would like to come try a sample, which is a lot more relaxed and calm, not as aggressive. However, age alone doesn't necessarily determine how I would communicate with the customers. In my nonverbal communication course I took several semesters ago, one of the lessons was that you can often tell a lot about a person based on the way they present themselves. Body language, attire, eye contact, and other aspects of a person's appearance could influence me to speak to them more aggressively and humorously, which would motivate them to try a sample, or I could speak to them in a more relaxed manner. For example, I found that speaking to college students that look like they go out every night and drink, um, I could speak to them more aggressively and humorously, which was an effective way of attracting their attention and getting them to try samples. Another class that I took with a similar lesson was intercultural communication. In this class, one of the main lessons we walked away with was being able to communicate effectively with people of different cultures who may have very different lifestyles and ways of communicating. It's important to realize that the way you might like speaking to people, may not be liked by the receiver. So saying certain things to one person may be acceptable by that person, while saying the same thing to another person might not. For this position, it's good to be able to speak both professionally, casually, and also a mixture of both, so that when I deal with diverse customers, I will more than likely be able to speak to them in a way that coincides with their own way of speaking, which will make them more comfortable and willing to try a sample and possibly go home with a bottle, which is the final goal. So that was the marketing aspect of the job. The sales part of the job consisted of me going around to different bars and restaurants and trying to get managers to purchase a bottle from their liquor suppliers. At first, I was pretty uncomfortable doing this because I was dealing with managers who, might ask questions and who know a lot more about liquors and businesses than I do. And I was just afraid that if I did, I wouldn't know how to answer the question properly, which would make me look like a clueless salesman and would also give Silvercoin a bad name. I didn't really have my pitch down just yet, so at first I would instantly be nervous and, you know, jumble up my words and forget I was going to say. But however, after the first few meetings with different managers, I felt more comfortable pitching to them, also because I incorporated some personality in with it, which made it feel more natural as opposed to scripted. The first step would be me walking into an establishment and asking for the manager. If they were busy, I would set up an appointment to come back at another time, and then I would follow up at that time. And if they weren't busy, I would discuss why they should start doing business with Silvercoin. We discussed the tequila itself, pricing, coming up with tequila specials to influence to purchase some from the bar or restaurant, and then also setting up potential sampling events to increase sales. I would also provide them with a sample for themselves to prove that it was actually quality tequila, as I told them it was. Um, Oftentimes, managers would try to deny my offer, which is when I would incorporate one of the indirect lessons I learned from my theory and practice of argument class. In this class, one of the lessons was to be knowledgeable enough about your subject or topic to be able to refute any challenges that you receive. In case managers were to tell me, like, we don't sell much tequila, I would remind them that even if they sold one shot of Silvercoin, they would still be making more money than they would off of Patron, which is one of the more popular tequilas. And that once customers try Silvercoin, the chances are that they would be inclined to buy more since it tastes great and goes down much easier than Patron and just about any other tequila out there. To further back up my comeback, I would tell them that since Silvercoin is not as well known as most other tequilas, I would be willing to do a sampling event to increase customer awareness about it. For both the marketing and sales portions of the job, I found that using my own approach, sorry, I'm having trouble speaking today, was effective and enjoyable at the same time. I was self-motivated, self-directed, and overall enjoyed doing the work that I was doing. This is representative of Douglas McGregor's theory why of motivation. The autonomic aspect of this internship, especially after achieving results, is what kept me motivated and part of what I valued greatly about this internship. From this experience, I learned that mixing your personality with professionalism has its benefits. This was often the way I attracted customers to try samples, which resulted in numerous people purchasing Silvercoin, and also how I built relationships with business managers, which resulted in them also making weekly purchases. I've always been somewhat skeptical of my communicative abilities, but after doing successful sales with 8 businesses and also getting customers to buy bottles from doing sampling events, which is rare, because usually they just want to take a sample and then walk out the door. So after doing this, I realized that I'm not as bad of a communicator as I seem to be, or as I think I am, and maybe not all that bad of a marketer and salesman either. Although I was successful overall, I still believe I can improve my communication skills, particularly my vocabulary and fluidity of speaking. As you can tell, I've been having some trouble today. I would like to be able to turn a simple idea into a more elaborate depiction of what I'm trying to convey, which can help people to better understand whatever I'm trying to talk about more clearly. This internship opened up my mind to the endless possibilities of creative marketing. Although I did not enforce any extravagant marketing ideas myself, I have a better idea of ways to attract people's attention. Overall, this was a new and rewarding experience that gave me a better understanding of the sales and marketing world. I'm certainly more confident speaking with customers and clients after having done it every week for about 4 months. Although I don't necessarily see myself doing sales in the long run, I certainly wouldn't be opposed to it if any opportunities came up. So that's my video. Thanks for watching and have a great summer.